What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I'm here to talk about this weekend's fights. As you all know, it's a big fight weekend. Um, on HBO, we have a very intriguing and interesting fight card, headlined by two heavyweight contenders. Cuban heavyweight contender Luis Ortiz, who we last seen fight on the Gennady Golovkin David Lemieux undercard, where he stopped his opponent in impressive fashion. Looking at Ortiz, he's 6'4", can counterpunch, can box, can punch, and he's a big athletic, muscular guy. We all know that he was been suspended after his second round KO victory over Latif Coyote um, because of a banned substance. I believe it was steroids. And really, that's the blemish or the bad taste that he leaves in people's mouth. Outside of the ring, but inside of the ring, he's a very talented guy, and a lot of people are looking at him as a dark horse to become the best heavyweight in the world. His counterpart in this weekend's main event is none other than Philadelphia's own Brian Baba Jennings, who fought Vladimir Klitschko. He's fought Mike Perez, and a few years ago, according to Teddy Atlas and Frederick Roach, one of the guys, he was picked as the best American prospect, and rightfully so. He's steady. Took a increase in his competition. He's an undersized heavyweight. I believe he's 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", one of those. He's not a very big heavyweight, big or tall heavyweight, but he's skilled. He's determined. He's a hard worker. And as he proved in his fight with Vladimir Klitschko, the then lineal heavyweight champion of the world, he gave him fits. A lot of people, I think he at least won three rounds in that fight. He made Vladimir Klitschko look uncomfortable and in moments in that fight, and he gave it his all. He showed a very good chin. Going into this fight, a lot of people are looking at him as the underdog, and I'm kind of torn on this fight because, you know, you see Ortiz 6'4", has all the skills and the power, athletic, and you can make a case that he can get Jennings out of there. But then you look at Jennings, he's determined, he's hungry to get back, in the fold of the title picture, and he's a hard worker and he's very skilled. And like I said, I'm torn on this fight. And it's basically you can flip a coin and whoever, whichever side it lands on, you can be comfortable with the pick because, like I said, it's a 50-50 fight in my opinion. With that being said, I'm going to go with Ortiz, maybe a late stoppage. I think that he's a bigger guy, and if you notice, in Jennings' fight with Perez, he started to get wore down and tired as the fight progressed. Because although Perez is a short heavyweight, he's a big guy, and he laid on him, and he put his weight on him and kind of wore him out. And I think that Ortiz can do that and even more, you know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't really have to make it an inside fight. I believe he has the reach advantage. I mean, he has quick hands. He can use his jab. He can, set up the counter punches, throw combinations and kind of keep Jennings at bay. Uh, but I think that it's gonna be at times gonna be a sloppy fight. The fight is gonna be fought on the inside, and it could favor Jennings very well if he can be successful. Because once he get on the inside, he needs to work the body. Throw left hooks, throw right hands, uppercuts, and really, just be active when he gets on the inside and make every shot count. But I'm going with Ortiz by a split decision. I think he may even knock down Jennings, but it would be a very good fight, a very close competitive fight. But I think that Ortiz is just a little better, and he's more poised for this moment right here. He's looking to continue on to his title hopes and aspirations of a title fight with Fury or whoever it may be when the time comes. But like I said, I'm going with Luis Ortiz via split decision in a very good fight. In the co-main event on this weekend's HBO card, you have hard-hitting Jamaican sensation Nicholas the X-Man Walters taking on Jason Sosa, who is also a hard puncher. He's a good fighter. I haven't really seen too much on him, so I'm not gonna act like I have, but I know that he's a skilled guy, can punch, and a lot of people are kind of putting. I don't want to say putting Walters on the upset alert, but if an upset is to happen, a lot of people are looking at this fight um, as the one that it could happen in. Like I said, Walters has been buzzed. He hasn't been dropped in in his career, but he has been buzzed against Nonito Donaire. And in his last fight, I forget the guy's name, but they fought in the amateurs, and the guy had beat Walters. But Walters, the way he works the body, is phenomenal. I mean, he's getting better and better. I know when he first started to get notarized, people were just saying like he's just a power puncher, but he's implemented more of his jab, combination punching, and like I said, his body punches are ferocious. He has bad intentions, with each and every punch, and I believe that his willpower, his skills, are going to overcome the determination and power of Jason Sosa. I think that he's going to hurt Sosa to the body, and I think he's going to stop him around 6 or 7 rounds. And I think it'll be a good fight as long as it lasts. But I just think that Nicholas Walters is the better fighter, the bigger puncher, and has more to work with than Sosa. So I'm going with Nicholas Walters via 6 round KO. And on to the middleweight title fight that also. Oh, matter of fact, let me not jump too far ahead of myself. And another intriguing fight that's taking place on HBO Latino is Joshua Clottey going up against Gabe Rosado in a fight that is definitely crossroads for both guys. We all know Joshua Clottey has been in the ring with Anthony Mondon, um, Miguel Cotto, Zab Judah, Diego Corrales, Antonio Margarito, Manny Pacquiao. He's been in there with a lot of high caliber guys, and he's very experienced, very talented. I mean, defensive guy that's hard when you put the high guard up. The knack about him is inactivity on the offensive end. Offensive side of his game. He doesn't let his hands go a lot. When he does let his hands go a lot, he does damage. You see what he did when he in the brief moments that, or in a few times that he did let his hands go against Manny Pacquiao. At that moment at the stretch of Manny's career, he had him busted his lip, swole his lip, had his eye swollen. And a lot of fighters wasn't doing that because Manny Pacquiao was just blitzing guys. But obviously, I look at Claudia as the better fighter, but Gabe Rosado was a hell of a fighter. I mean, not a lot of amateur experience. Started boxing late, and he's took on some very good fighters, big punchers. Alfredo Angulo, David Lemieux, Gennady Golovkin, Peter Quillen, Jamil Charlo. I mean, the list goes on and on. He's battle tested. He's tough. He's from Philly. I mean, he's a very powerful guy, and this is a fight he needs to, win to stay relevant. You know, uh, he's been in these fights where he's come up short or just simply was outclassed. Gennady Golovkin outclassed him. Jamel Charlo outclassed him. He had a chance to beat Peter Quillen, but unfortunately for him, a cut on the eye, caused a premature stoppage because, he was on his way to, potentially stopping Quillen or at least, winning the decision. But the fight, due to the cut, it was, it had to be stopped. And then he fought Alfredo Angulo early in his career, and he got stopped, I believe, in that fight. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section below. But I think that I think Claudio's gonna pull it out, man. I just like him in this fight. I think he's gonna frustrate Gabe. He's gonna counter Gabe. Cause Claudio, he really surprised a lot of people with his performance down there in Australia against Mundane, where he dropped him like 5 or 6 times and just stopped him. And that was at middleweight. But I believe that Claudio's gonna get the split decision victory, and put his name back in the fold at the 154 and 160 pound division. And I believe that he's going to get the victory, but I could be wrong. But I'm going with Claudio via split decision in a good fight that might have some controversy. Hopefully the right guy win. And we'll see. On to what in my opinion, is the fight I'm looking forward to a lot, and that is Billy Joe Saunders taking on Andy Lee. Andy Lee is the WBO middleweight champion. We know he's the Irishman, big power. Used to be trained by the late great Emmanuel Stewart. He's fought Brian Vera twice. He's fought Chavez Jr. He was supposed to fight Gennady Golovkin two previous times, but they fell out. One time due to the death of Gennady Golovkin's father, and another time I don't really remember. But he's definitely a quality guy. He's fought Peter Quillen, knocked Peter Quillen down for the first time. He was dropped twice in that fight, but he battled back to for a draw, and a fight that a lot of people thought he won. But Andy Lee is obviously the favorite in my opinion. He's more experienced. He's the bigger puncher. He can box, and that right hand is just that right hook he throws because he erased what's the guy Korobov, yeah, he erased him with a right hand and it just obliterated him. And I think that Billy Joe Saunders, who has a win over Chris Eubanks Jr., they bitter rivals. I think that you know, that he's a good fighter. He's not a big puncher. And I think, that he's not quite ready for Andy Lee yet. But he may surprise people because a lot of people, myself included, pick, Chris Eubanks Jr. And maybe that's just because of the name and not really paying attention to, Joe Saunders or Eubanks' skill set. But he did what he had to do. Saunders has fast hands. He's not super fast, but he has fast hands. He has, good, solid, decent power. And like I said, he's gonna come to fight. He's confident, and I just think that he's gonna give it his all. But at the end of the day, I believe Andy Lee stops him in 9 or 10 rounds, maybe even sooner than that. Depends on how the fight is going. But I pick Andy Lee via KO in the ninth or 10th round. Those are my predictions for this weekend's fight. In the comment section below, leave your thoughts on each fight and your predictions on each fight. Like this video, subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk, favorite the channel, share the video. Head over to Facebook, like our Colossal Boxing Talk Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Colossal CBT. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.